Good to see you, Richard.
Good to
Priscilla, so good to see you.
So good to see you too, Miss Erin.
Priscilla, how did the taping go with CUNY last week?
Oh, it was okay.
Okay.
It was just a little weird seeing the campus so empty, but it was great.
That's good. Okay, I'm trying to get with Alberto and find out when that's going to be ready.
Okay, sure.
I'll keep you posted.
Antoinette, can you please turn on your camera?
Yes.
Carla Renee.
Join the meeting.
Good to see you.
You as well. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited.
We're going to start in 2 more minutes. I'm going to give every student the opportunity to log on.
Hi, Irene. The president's just finishing up auxiliary.
Yes, he sent me a text. We're going to start at 1:05.
Hello, Priscilla.
Eddie, your camera is off. Catherine, your camera is off.
Can you
Mine
see
is
me?
off. But I'll be
Doug
going
off?
into the conference room in a minute.
Cheryl, your camera is off. Paulette,
you-
your camera is off. Please
you
turn
hear?
on your cameras, staff. 1 more minute. Linda, how many people are in the room with us?
81.
I'm sorry?
81.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
Skinner Flowers.
Hello, we're going to start in 1 more minute.
Welcome, Senator Flowers. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome. Mr. Lopez.
Okay, did the president finish? Did the president finish?
Yes, they just finished. You should be logging in a couple of minutes. David's
Okay.
logging in here. Yes. Luis is going to join us, so we have to.
Morning.
All righty. I guess if there are no objections, I'm going to start. The time is now 1:05. So welcome, everybody, and welcome our students to this semester's first town hall. This will be the first of 2 that we will be holding during this semester, and I wish to welcome you here. The
I
first,
think I'm already logged in, so you just go to the email.
I'm sorry? I'm sorry.
Irene, I think it would be wise if you can mute everyone else and let you speak.
Okay, Linda.
I'll be doing that now.
Okay, Tiffany's going to mute everybody. All right, thank
Irene, unmute yourself, please. Sorry.
I'm going to try this one last time. 3rd time's a charm. So welcome everybody to the first student town hall of the semester. This is one of 2 town halls that we will be holding for the students. We are here because we want to give you some updates and we'd like to hear from you and answer your specific questions. So I welcome all the staff who are here and I welcome all the students who are here who are taking time out. The first thing I do want to talk a moment.
Can't hear you.
Irene, we lost your audio.
Did Irene?
Can you hear me now?
We lost your audio for a while.
Okay, tell me where I left off.
Right after your intro.
Right after my intro. Okay. So I want to welcome everybody to this town hall.
Join the meeting.
Take 4. I want to thank everybody. We are here because we want to hear from our students. We want to give updates to our students, and we want to answer specific questions from our students. This is the first of 2 town halls that we will hold for this semester. Our second town hall will be held sometime in November before Thanksgiving. I want to remind all the students who are joining today our obligation to being civic minded and thinking about what is happening around the world. And I want to remind all our students to please exercise your right to vote. Make sure that you are registered to vote. If you don't know how to register to vote, you can go to the Google and type in "how do I register to vote in New York," and you'll get a form that you fill out and hand it in, mail it in, and that way it'll give you the opportunity to be heard on Election Day, which is November 3rd. Your voice matters. Black lives matter, and you need to be heard. Please exercise your right to vote. Along with that, right now, we are currently in our census. Census happens every decade, every 10 years. Please make sure that your household fills out the census form. The census determines how much federal funding goes to the local community, meaning your community. So please make sure your household fills out the census. Lastly, I want to remind everybody that tomorrow marks September 11th. September 11th, 19 years ago, the United States had 4 terrorist attacks. I wish to acknowledge a solemn thank you to all the first responders who worked so selflessly to help others, and our sympathy to all those lives that were lost 19 years ago. So with that said, we'd like to start the town hall. We want to hear from you and what your concerns are, and we'd like to bring you some updates. Please place all your questions into the chat. Every student has the ability to go into the chat feature and type in your question. We will answer the questions as we see them. We will also look for themes to answer your questions. Everyone will be muted. Please know that as you type your questions, you will not see the questions, but our hosts will. I also want to remind everybody on this call and on this Zoom that we are recording this. So for any student who misses this and wants to see it or see other information, they will be able to see this. It will be on the web because we are being recorded. If at the end of this hour, we did not get to you or to your question, please know that at the end of the session, you can type your question in, your name and your email address, and we will make sure that we get back to you. On that note, Carla, do you happen to know if our president has been able to leave his other meeting and join us?
I'm not aware of whether he has or not.
I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, fantastic. So what I'd like to do is introduce our president, and I know he has some warm welcome for all of you. Dr. Thomas A. Sekenegbe, president of BCC.
Thank you, Dr. Delgado. And again, I want to use this opportunity to welcome all of our students to the fall 20 semester and to the 2021 academic year. Wow, I miss all of you on campus here, really. I'm on campus, but it's really lonely without you, our students here. And I'm truly hoping that we'll get over this and someday we'll all come back to our beautiful campus. Dr. Delgado, I want to say thank you for your warm words and your warm welcome here. Some of the things you really said are things that really matters to me too. I think it's very important that we get everybody to go vote. This year's election is really crucial for this heart and soul of our country and our nation. So I'm encouraging all of you, if you've not, I think Dr. Delgado said it best, if you've not registered to vote, you need to go vote. I think we have few more days before the close of the census. The census is also closing. If you or anybody in your household hasn't registered in the census, I think you need to make your voice count too by doing the census. You know, it's a very tough and difficult times. I know with all of the upheavals in the country, all of the social issues about social justice, all of the unrest, I really need all of you to know that we at the college here, we care. And one of the ways I think we want to show this is to improve the services that we're offering to you in these very tough times. I know you have a lot of questions. I know we've fallen short at times in meeting your needs quickly. My pledge to you is that this is a whole learning experience for all of us. And as we go through this, my pledge to you is that we're going to do better to make sure that we meet your needs. The essence of this town hall meeting this afternoon and the following one that is coming up is to really hear your voices here. Tell us about how you're doing. Tell us about things that you think we need to do better. And again, tell us issues that we may not be seeing from our different offices here. And again, I think I want to stress, if there are issues you need to deal with or if there are problems that you're facing, I don't think you need to wait for the town hall meeting to email Dr. Delgado or to email our provost. You can email any of us at any time, and I promise you that we'll follow up immediately. This session is for you. Welcome to everybody. We miss you on campus, and I hope that we have a productive forum this afternoon. Thank you, everybody, and welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Sekunegbi. I'd also like to introduce now our relatively new Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Lester Sandres Repalo. You're on mute, Lester.
Thank you so much, Dr. Delgado. I appreciate it. I echo our president's word and your word, Dr. Delgado, when it comes to civic engagement, make sure that everyone vote, and all the power that we have in our vote to change the narrative of this beautiful country that is as diverse as we are in this room. And we nurture the values that each and every one of our students bring to BCC. And as our president mentioned it, the fall 2020, it's a unique semester for many reasons. We have the power to change the narrative of our country, and also to for your own welfare as a student. We understand that these are very challenging times, and you have an entire team of BCC committed to your success, from facilities to public safety, to student success, our Office of Academic Affairs, workforce development. Everyone is committed here to help you, to get you to the finish line, or to get you that job that you always want. So welcome to BCC. We're here for you, and do not hesitate to answer any questions. We will make sure to fulfill your needs to the best of our ability. So thank you and welcome to BCC.
Thank you, Dr. Rapalo. I'd like to introduce, but they are just going to wave their hand, the rest of the President's Cabinet, who are his trusted advisors and who bring forth the changes that you see that are happening at Bronx Community College. I'd like to start with Kay Ellis, Vice President for Administration and Finance, Dr. Eddie Bayardell, Vice President for External Relations, Carla Renee Williams, Interim Dean for Workforce and Economic Development, Susan Fiore, Executive Legal Counsel, Deputy to the President and Labor Designee, and Dr. Nancy Ritzy, Dean for Research, Planning, and Assessment. With that, I'd like to then introduce someone critical to my operation and all the things that happen with our students, Dr. Manny Lopez, Associate Dean for Student Development. You're on mute, Manny. You're on mute. Okay, Tiffany, can you unmute Manny? And you see, students, even the experts get stuck with technology. We are all working on this together.
Hey, there
We will
you go.
figure it out. You good,
So,
Dr. Lopez?
I'm good. You know,
Fabulous.
there's a double lesson there. Not only do we experience technical challenges, but the other lesson is we help one another out. I couldn't unmute myself, but my colleague was able to unmute me. So part of that teamwork is what's wonderful. Thank you all for joining us today. Ladies and gentlemen, it is really a treat for me to connect with you all today and for us to connect with you. I have to be honest, I miss you all. I really do. From a selfish place, I miss you all. I miss being on campus. I miss walking around campus, chatting with you, answering questions, listening to what you have to say about what's working and what's could be improved. So, you know, this forum is just another way for us to connect with you while we're in this temporary distance modality. So while we're in this modality, we try to make the best of it and do the best that we can. My key message for you is to really ask you to do what I'm doing, which is I'm just trying to persevere. Every day is a little bit difficult. Every day is a little bit challenging. You can see there was just a technical glitch, but we all have certain challenges that we're dealing with. And I understand how difficult it can be. Some of us are taking care of our grandparents. Some of us have children at home. Some of us have tough technology matters, or we're doing Skype with our friends walking around, or family and loved ones in the back. My urge to you, I urge you to please persevere. Continue despite these dilemmas, because what's certain in life, some people will say taxes, I say dilemmas. Challenges will always arise, and how we respond and our behaviors determine our outcome. So please continue to persevere. My role in this forum here today is to also introduce you to some people who are here to support you. While we have limited access to campus, there's a ton of us in this space right here, right now, who want to be available to you to help you continue to persevere in your academic and your professional endeavors. So as an example, we have the president of the Student Government Association, we have folk from IT, we have folk from workplace development, we have academic advisors, we have financial aid advisors. What we'll do is you can type some of your inquiries into the chat and we'll answer them broadly if they're applicable, and if needed, we'll move you into Zoom rooms to direct questions individually with each of you. So with that being said, I'm going to ask and introduce Ms. Priscilla Tokar, your 2020-2021 Student Government Association President. She's a wonderful leader and your representative and an advocate for you during this academic year. So without further ado, Priscilla, please introduce yourself and offer us some greetings.
Greetings, students and staff. My name is Priscilla Tokar. As Mr. Mani said, I'm the Student Government President, and on behalf of the Student Government, we wish you students a wonderful semester. As a student, your first priority is your academics, so we advise that you stay on top of your schedule and please utilize the BCC website and get in all the resources you may need this semester. The website is www.bcc.cuny.edu. And also follow us on the BCC Student Government app. Follow us on the BCC Student Government page at Instagram, SGA BCC CUNY, on Twitter, SGA BCC_, and on Facebook at BCC SGA to get updates on what is happening in the school. I also want to emphasize on what President Ezekiel said, Ms. Irene Delgado, and Mr. Lester. Every single vote counts. So for us to get our voice heard, we urge you students to go out and vote. Once again, we would like to welcome you to BCC, and we hope you have a wonderful stay.
All righty. Thank you so much, Madam President Tokar. So for the students in the space, we know that there has been inquiries about various things. And amongst those, financial aid is one of those questions, or one of those areas where questions have been asked. And with that, we have Dr. Margaret Nelson, who will give you an overview of and some responses to some of the commonly asked questions about financial aid. Again, for the students, you can submit inquiries during the presentation, and we will take those as they come in a little bit later in the program. So, Dr. Margaret Nelson.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Margaret Nelson. I am the Director of Financial Aid, and it gives me great pleasure on behalf of the Financial Aid Office to welcome all of you to fall 2020 semester. When I was asked to speak at the Students' Town Hall Zoom meeting, I informed my staff that I had 2 minutes to speak, and what should I speak about? Unanimously, the response was the most frequently asked questions. So I believe that without further ado, that we should go to the most frequently asked questions. Question number 1, what if I do not qualify for federal and state free grants, or there are other financial aid available? Of course, yes, there are. There are low interest federal loans and BCC scholarship. You should visit the BCC Financial Aid webpage. Question number 2, what is the federal verification process. My FAFSA application has been selected for verification. What is that? The answer, the federal government uses a process called verification to help determine the accuracy of the financial aid information on your FAFSA. If your application needs to be verified, you will have comments on your student aid report indicating what actions you need to take to complete the verification process. In addition, checklists will appear on your CUNY financial aid to-do list. Next question. What happens if I drop or withdraw from my classes while receiving financial aid? A very important question. Then the answer, payment of financial aid depends on your enrollment. For example, if you're full-time, three-quarter time, or half-time, dropping or withdrawing from classes may reduce or cancel your award and result in a tuition balance owed to the college. If you receive a Pell Grant for enrolled classes and you fail to attend, you will have to return those funds immediately to the college. Question number 4, when will I receive my refund from the college? Generally, you can anticipate a full refund within the second week of October, and refunds then are sent out every week after that. Therefore, lastly, I want to acknowledge that the Financial Aid Office has identified areas of weaknesses. And with our telephone calls and our emails response, but we stand to make our service more timelier and more efficient and effective. We've been given additional staff to make sure to cover the phone and your emails. So please, thank you for your patience and your understanding, and we look forward to moving in a more effective way. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nelson. I think that last slide of the PowerPoint was my favorite, the graduating class and the students in their cap and gown. So thank you all so much for that. Now, again, for students is a good time to submit questions to the chat, because we have about 30-40 minutes where we would like to address inquiries that you have both publicly and in Zoom chat rooms if necessary. I understand that there is one question in the chat at this moment, and if you can read that to us, please, Ms. Linda McKernan.
Thank you, Dr. Lopez. Yes, our first question comes from Carmelo, and Carmelo is advocating on behalf of his fellow students, and he's asking, or saying rather, that many students who are members and who are on the BCC mobile app have been having issues with contacting advisors, financial aid, and many offices. What can the administration staff do to correct the fact that many students aren't getting the proper responses or begin getting answers in general?
So I think, yes, Irene, please, Dr. Delgado.
I'm going to speak to at least part of that. As the Vice President for Student Success, although I have specific offices and units under my auspices, student success crosses all sectors. So I'm kind of in everybody's bailiwick in some way, shape, or form. With regards to financial aid, we are backlogged. We say this not as an excuse, but as an explanation. We suffered 2 losses during COVID, and we had some other setbacks in that department. We are currently now almost at full staff as of Tuesday. So we are going through that backlog of emails and phone calls that we are addressing. I have not heard any feedback in terms of the registrar's office or the admissions office. I would have to kick it over to my colleague, the director of ASAP, Nadine Brown, or the assistant director of the Academic Success Center to speak about how students are to communicate with their advisors.
Hi, good afternoon. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Hi, my name is Nadine Brown, and I serve as the ASAP director. We have a general ASAP email address that we respond to within 48 hours. It's pretty simple. It's asap@bcc.cuny.edu. You can also call our main phone number at 289-5166. And if you leave a voice message, that voice message is also retrieved via our email. Through that email address, you're able to identify any questions or concerns you have as it relates to engaging with your ASAP advisor, obtaining any of your ASAP benefits and such. And those emails are routed to the supervisory staff that will respond again within 48 hours to your inquiry. Another suggestion is that for students who are interested in knowing who their advisor is, if you are a continuing student returning to BCC, you can utilize your Starfish account by logging in and looking at your network, which would include both your advisor as well as your faculty contact information. I'll actually pass the floor over to Cheryl if she wants to speak to the general student population that may not be participants of ASAP.
Hello, my name is Cheryl. I'm the Academic Advising Manager for the Academic Success Center. Our general email box is academic.advisement@bcc.cuny.edu. We have someone there who will definitely answer all emails within the 72-hour time frame, as well as your advisors are also on Starfish inside your network, as Nadine said as well, and they will reach you. You can set up an appointment with them at any time through the scheduling. If you have any other, we're going to have advisors doing the breakout room today. If they have any questions, that you may present, you could also have that, and we can set up appointments for you that way. We welcome you to BCC, and we're looking forward to assisting you in anything you need.
Thank you, Ms. Cheryl.
Yes,
Want to
thank
add
you.
anything?
I think that was, so we have two academic advising email addresses. Nadine, can you please repeat the email address?
Sure. It's asap@bcc.cuny.edu. So that's asap@bcc.cuny.edu.
Thank you so much. I know that there are more questions coming into the chat. Ms. McKernan, can you please read those to us?
Absolutely.
Or the next one?
Absolutely, Dr. Lopez. And actually, students and staff, we're going to try something for the very first time here. We have our first student that could be going into a breakout room, but we have a layered issue here. So Dr. Nelson, Ms. Thomas, and Mr. Clement Hemmings, if you can just please pay a close eye on this question and let us know who the student should speak with to go into that breakout room. So the student says that his name is Gerardo Diaz, and he's a transfer student and has not really gotten much support with financial aid and registration. With this, he now has a balance on his account and is considering withdrawing from his classes before classes even started. He would like to attend classes in spring 2021, and if the issues can be resolved. He sent many emails to the registrar's office and financial aid, but has not heard back. So I believe that this student might best be served by the registrar's office first and then talk to financial aid. What do we think, Ms. Thomas? Or or Dr. Nelson?
Yes, if you can direct that student, Vianella and I can address that. We can look into it for the student.
Great. Tiffany, if you can please put Gerardo in a breakout room with Miss Karen Thomas and Miss Vianella Mejia, please.
Okay, so Gerardo, you'll see on your screen in a few minutes an option to go into a breakout room. Just accept it, and you'll be joining Karen. And I'm sorry, you said who else? Vianella?
Vianella. Correct.
And Miss Vianella Mejia. Give me 1 second.
So this is where I want to take a moment and say this is one of the benefits of the technology that we have, that you students, if you have a problem that is very specific to you, we have the staff here to help you on the spot. And we will whisk you away with the technology to a private room where you can speak to the person who can help you and look at your case and then bring you back. Each one of these mini sessions are 8 minutes long, and that way you don't miss much of the rest of the town hall. So please take advantage of this opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Delgado. Our next question is for financial aid, and it reads, can we qualify for financial aid at 2 different colleges at the same time for 2 different degrees?
Financial aid pays one college at a time because you can only get Pell Grant or a TAP grant at one college. The other one, you would have to decide whether you're going to pay out of pocket for one of the 2 colleges.
Thank you, Dr. Nelson. Our next question is actually for our IT team, if Lucci can come to be prepared. So this student is saying, Jason is saying that he's having trouble creating a Bronco ID. Who can Jason reach out to for assistance at this time for help with his Bronco ID?
Is that for Lucci?
Yes. Lucci or anyone from the IT team that can answer that question?
I apologize, guys, I was muted. So you guys can contact TSC at bcc.cuny.edu with all your technical questions. They will route you to the area that will be able to assist you.
Thank you. And to repeat
Hold on,
that,
can we please just repeat that email address?
tsc@bcc.cuny.edu.
Thank you. T as in Tom, S as in son, C as in cat.
Yes, you're correct.
Thank you, Lucci.
okay. Our next question is for the Office of Health Services. Manny, is Ms.
Victoria is online, yes. Ms.
Great.
King.
So Jason asks if immunization records are immediately required because of a personal reason. So are immunization records immediately required?
Victoria, please remember to unmute yourself.
While we wait for Ms. Victoria, students, I'd like to please remind you if you can please update your name to read your first and last name. We would greatly appreciate it at this time.
I believe I'm unmuted now. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. So New York State Public Health Law requires that any student carrying 6 credits or more must submit proof of immunity to measles, mumps, and rubella. And also fill out a meningitis response form. The meningitis vaccine is not required. The only thing you have to do is fill out the form and check the box that you don't want to have the vaccine. If you went to a high school in the United States, that will serve to get you a waiver for 1 month to either get your records or get an immunization, but it will allow you to register.
Thank you, Ms. King. Manny, do you have a follow-up to that or?
Nope, we can move on to the next question. Thank you.
Great. So we have another question in the chat, and students, just please feel free to keep messaging me your questions. Stephanie asks if at the end of the semester, will they have the option to change their grade for credit or no credit option?
So that
That's
can
for
go.
Karen. I think Karen is in a breakout room. I believe Syria is on this call. I think she can answer that.
Ms. Syria, reminder to unmute yourself.
Yes, sorry. Yes, it's
okay.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. We know that for the spring semester, for the special COVID grading policy, there was a credit, no credit. But there's also a pass fail option that the students can opt to in agreement with their professors. So you need to contact your professor, but the registrar's office can provide you the pass fail form. Okay, I hope that answers your question, and feel free to reach out to us. Our email is registrar, registrar @bcc.cuny.edu, and I represent the graduation unit. Our email is gradunit, GRADUNIT @bcc.cuny.edu. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you, Ms. Syria. Students, also note that Ms. Mary Velez from the Office of Student Life is also putting those email addresses in the chat for you to have easy access to, okay? We have one more question here, and I guess it's more of a comment that maybe VP Delgado or another vice president can speak to. It reads that some staff members are not on Starfish, which makes it difficult to schedule a meeting with faculty and staff. How can we fix that?
That's actually a really good question, and I think I'd have to work with the provost on that. The Starfish function is very, very helpful when it's used in the advising option, and I do believe that disabilities, Maria, do you use the Starfish option, correct? I see her nodding. I believe that financial aid and registrar may or may not use that function, but I will speak to them about that function, setting that up, some dedicated space. Many staff don't have front-end connections with students. They are doing behind the scenes, so we'd have to select that. What offices would you recommend besides, I'm assuming, registrar and financial aid and advising, would you recommend that have some staff available on Starfish to make an appointment? Linda, any feedback? And I also want to say that the staff is very responsive to email outside of the challenges that we had with financial aid this semester. I would always say to a student, please email to set up an appointment, but we can look at that feature. Did they elaborate at all on what other departments?
So it was specifically nursing.
Oh, so are you talking about making appointments with department chairs?
We don't have an answer to that follow-up question.
So I'm going to kick it over to the provost, who can speak to how students should be engaging with their department chairs and the deputy chairs.
Thank you, Dr. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Delgado. Absolutely. We want to encourage each and every one of us, especially our students, to reach out to me in this case. If you cannot find any, if you have any technical problems trying to communicate with your faculty or your chair, I personally will follow up with the department chairs. In this case, it seems to me that the new chair, Annette Ortiz, she's the new chair of the nursing department. So I will definitely reach out to her and connect and follow up and assist you to the best of our ability. But we are here for you. And if you have any problems trying to reach out to the faculty or chair, email me and I will definitely rectify that as soon as possible.
I will add, Dr. Apollo, that in the nursing department, there are upcoming information sessions that the department staff and faculty are holding. Mary Velez can check on the nursing academic department nursing website and put that link in the chat so that the students can see when and how to sign up for those info sessions with the nursing department specifically.
Thank you. Thank you, Dean Lopez. We have another student that's going to need to go into a breakout room. So Dr. Nelson, Maria is stating that she can't see her financial aid for the year 2020 on CUNY First and is concerned about a balance. If you can identify a staff member to put Maria in a breakout room with, please.
Can we put her with Wilma Rosario, please?
Tiffany?
Working on it.
Thank you.
What's his name again? I'm sorry.
Maria.
Wilma Rosario.
Yep, Maria with Wilma Rosario.
Solis? Maria Solis?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
Great. While that's happening, we have another question for our advising units. This student is asking rather, if they do not do well on their first semester and would like to withdraw from some courses, what can they do that? What are the repercussions of that action at this time? Nadine, maybe you can answer this?
Yes, so I just wanted to remind students that a notification from our chancellor where the withdrawal deadline has been extended. So traditionally, withdrawals happen around midterms, like right after midterms. However, students will have until the end of the semester. If anyone can provide the date in the chat, that'd be great, to withdraw, which means that students will have most of the semester to determine how they're doing in their courses. BCC is uniquely structured in a way where faculty actually provide midterm grades. So there are different checkpoints in the semester in which students can identify how they're doing in the actual course. I would also encourage students to meet with their faculty members, whether it be through Zoom or by phone or whatever mechanisms the faculty has allotted them, to engage them in how they are doing, are any extra credit or a particular assignments or particular focuses that the student can focus on to improve upon performances. And Linda, if you can share the last part of the question regarding repercussions.
Well, what would be the repercussions of withdrawing from classes at this point or down the line?
Okay, so that's a two-part question. I'm going to actually toss it over to Margaret to prepare her on deck to answer the financial aid implications. But as far as academic implications, the W grade does not is not attached to a grade that reflects your GPA. So in other words, it does not adversely impact your GPA. So hopefully that answers your questions. If the decision is made to withdraw, it will not result in a negative or adverse impact on your GPA. However, withdrawing and the timing of your withdrawal, I'm going to pass the question over to Margaret, who can kind of speak on the financial implications.
Yes, and before you pass it on, Nadine, the last day to withdraw for fall, hi, I'm sorry everyone. My name is Karen Thomas. I'm the registrar of BCC. The last day to withdraw for fall 2020 is December 13th. Again, as Ms. Nadine has stated, that withdrawal is not a punitive grade. However, it's considered an attempted grade. So it may have impact on your financial aid. Our recommendation to all students that if you are interested or looking to withdraw, please speak to an advisor, or you can come to the registrar's office and speak to one of the registrar staff so we can assist you with making the best informed decision. We also have an appeals process for those students who have special circumstances. So we do have options for students to try to either stay in class or if necessary, to withdraw from a class. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Thomas. And I want to just echo to what Ms. Thomas and Nadine just mentioned. We're looking at it short term. Depending on when you withdraw from your classes or drop some of your classes, it could have a major impact on your financial aid. I think one of the frequently asked questions that I presented asked, well, what happens if I withdraw from my classes? And it definitely tells you that your financial aid is going to be impacted. But if you drop at the last date, which is, I think Ms. Thomas says December 20-something.
13th.
Keep in mind, please, that that's for the current semester, but you also want to take in consideration where you're going to be at for the next semester. And you need to meet satisfactory academic progress in order to continue to receive financial aid. While that W may not have an impact on your GPA, it will have an impact on your attempted credits, and it could jeopardize you receiving financial aid for the next semester.
Thank you, Dr. Nelson. So in short, if you are going to withdraw from your classes, that is something you can do. However, we highly suggest you speak with your academic advisor as well as the Office of Financial Aid before moving forward with your withdrawal.
Linda, can I just say something here?
Yes, you may.
This is Clement Hemmings, the bursar. Hello, everyone. A common misconception too is that once the W grade a student drops at that point in time, it's the belief that the tuition liability goes away, the tuition charge. The tuition still remains at 100% charge. This is why it's important, very, very important, that students must communicate to the registrars and financials to find out how the financials are affected and what will be the charges as a result of taking the W grade. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hemmings, for that. With that being said, we are getting a couple of more questions in the chat that I'd like to reach out, that I'd like to answer. So this student asks, how does the pass, fail, or credit, no credit affect financial aid? Dr. Nelson?
The pass or no credit does not affect financial aid. As long as they get a grade, a pass, or no credit, they're entitled to their financial aid. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr.
Still earn.
Thank you, Dr. Nelson. This upcoming question might be for one of the vice presidents, if they're still on the line. This is in response to the reoccupancy plan, I believe. What will the process be for the corona vaccines? Will it be mandatory for students and staff to get this vaccine?
Okay, I don't know. Do you want to take that question? You want me to take that question?
I know I'll take at this point, there is no expectation that it will be a requirement to receive the vaccine. The college and the university are handling this on a symptom by symptom basis and by controlling social distancing and access control to the campus and to courses. So at this point, no, there's not an expectation there would be any kind of mandatory requirement, and only should the federal, state, or city authorities make that a guidance would we adopt such a measure. And that would come through as a required vaccine if that were to in the future take place. At this time, no, it is not.
Thank you, Vice President Ellis. We are running low on time here. We are here until 2:15, so I do want to run through the questions. Our next question comes from an SGA Senator, Lennon, and it's regarding the Office of Financial Aid. Now that the Office of Financial Aid will be in full capacity, how long will it take for students to get replies to their emails? And yeah, how long will it take for students to get replies to their emails that were already sent?
Before Dr. Nelson answers, I just want to say that we are still short 2 staffers, of which one will be filled. So we are not at 100% yet, and this full capacity just happened on Tuesday. So up until Tuesday, we were down. Of course, my phone has to ring and people don't understand. I'm not picking up what that means. Okay. So yeah, okay, you're not getting it, buddy. So my apologies. Again, technology and the real world colliding. So Lennon and all the students who are out there, please know that this full capacity we're not at full capacity, and we just got, we were down by 30% of our staff in financial aid. So while we are incurring a 10% loss in enrollment, we had a 30% loss of staffing. So we are just almost at 100%, and Mark can talk about the timeline of how quickly we can catch up.
I'm projecting with my staff that we should be able to turn around email and telephone call within 24 to 48 hours. But what I would also like to ask of the student, that when you call, you must leave a name and a contact number, because if we just get a telephone number, we don't know who to reach out to. So please give us at least 24 to 48 hours to respond to your email and your telephone calls, if we're not able to pick it up at that particular moment.
Dr. Nelson, when receiving a voicemail, is it helpful to receive name, number, and MPOL ID?
That would be perfect, because then it'd give us an opportunity to at least review the student's record prior to reaching out to them.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say that. Ample IDs are definitely important, especially in the email as well. Because and we can look at your records to help you out better. So please provide your ample ID in your email and in your phone call, definitely.
Yes, I'd like to echo that. I can safely tell you that I have received emails from students who will say something like, I didn't get my Chromebook. And based on that they're sending it to me from their preferred email address, I don't know the name of the student. I don't have an EMPL ID. I don't have a phone number to call them from. So I would say to all the students, one of the things that always get into the habit of is that when you outreach to us in your email, please put your full name. Please put your preferred email address. Please put your EMPL ID. Please include your cell number. That makes it much easier for us to find you. Also remember that there is more than one name of the same name. If you've ever Googled yourself, you will know that there are multiple names of the same person in the same town. So that also adds another layer of the importance of identifying yourself when you call us.
Thank you, Dr. Delgado. We have another question, and I believe this belongs to the Office of Academic Affairs. Last semester, the students did not receive academic awards such as President's List and Dean's List. Are there any updates on that? And if the students will receive awards for President's and Dean's List for the next academic semester?
Thank you so much, Linda. Yes, we're currently working right now to make that happen. And thank you so much for the kind reminder. Absolutely.
Thank you, Dr. Rapolo.
Yes.
Sorry.
Ms. Linda, I just wanted to add, yes, as the provost has stated, the registrar's office is working closely with academic affairs. The initial list for Dean's List and President's List, with the changes in programming with CUNY First during this virtual environment back in May, June, there were some glitches in the report. But that has been straightened out now, and we'll be submitting that report to Academic Affairs shortly.
Thank you, Ms. Thomas. Dr. Nelson, I think we're going to have another student that needs to go into a financial aid breakout room. Angela reads that she has a balance in her account. She's applied for all of the, applied for financial aid. She wants to know when the aid will be reflected on her account and if there's any fees that she needs to pay additionally.
Okay, pull her into a breakout room, please.
Yep. Tiffany, this is Angela. Dr. Nelson, can you tell us who she can go in a room with?
She can see Miss Shanae Dennis.
Thank you. Tiffany, that's Angela with Shanae Dennis. Thank you. Okay, you have some great questions coming in. So student Carmelo is asking, as we are in the fall semester and look a bit into the future for spring 2021, will there be a possibility of a traditional graduation?
Hey, that's a wonderful question. And my heart wants to say absolutely yes, but I'm a realist and my mind says we have to heed the advice of our medical professionals. That is what's most important. The university understands this, taking care of your well-being and our well-being. So I would love to say right now, yes, but the formal answer is traditional as in person is to be determined. A celebration and recognition of your academic success is a yes. And what format that would happen is still to be determined based on what we learned from our medical professionals regarding COVID.
Thank you, Dr. Lopez. A follow-up question. I think this question is for Nadine in ASAP. If you reduce your credits to 15, can you still stay in ASAP?
Hi, thanks for the question. Yes, ASAP is, one of the requirements for ASAP is that you maintain full-time enrollment each semester. However, there are circumstances in which part-time enrollment is approved. For example, if you are in your last semester and you only have 6 credits left to graduate. So full-time is considered anything between 12 hours or more. So 15 hours would fall within the what is considered as full-time enrollment.
Thank you. Thank you, Nadine. We have a question for our technology team. So Lucci, this student constantly has has intermittent service during their lecture, which I don't experience during my personal internet use. I feel great concern during the exam period if this issue persists. Alice asked that question. I believe that, Alice, can you express to us if this is an asynchronous class or a synchronous class, if this is the professor's technology or your technology? I'm not understanding the question so much.
Well, even though yesterday I did ask whether the problem is my internet or the whole class, and one of the girls or one of the students said, yeah. So it seems that I was not the only one experiencing that, you know, the intermittent issue. And even with the, like, off the lecture, I don't experience that. If I'm on my own personal internet, I don't experience that, but it's occasional, I mean, like, it's intermittently okay during lecture. So I assume that is the platform that we use, but it's not my private or personal internet problem. Yeah, but you know, it's constantly happens that, you know, they switch off and then you connect me back in occasionally. I mean, every day. I mean, every time during lecture.
Lucia, do you want to share what we're doing on
raising his hand.
Well, it seems to me that it's more of a Blackboard issue. So I am going to let Albert also chime into it, but what we can do for her is if she again emails tsc@bcc.cuny.edu is verify that her internet connectivity is working properly so that she doesn't have that concern for exams. We do want to make sure that she is able to participate throughout the semester without any issues. Albert, I'm not sure if you want to take that comment in terms of Blackboard.
Yeah, I just want to know if the student is the instructor using Blackboard Collaborate for their platform?
Yeah, that is the one he uses.
Okay, well, sometime in Collaborate, you will get, unfortunately, with any platform, you will get disconnected and have to log back in. So the best thing to do is to log out when you have those issues and come back in, but also use the Chrome or Firefox browser. Those browsers are certified to work better with Blackboard. If the issue consists, then you can either email the tsc@bcc.cuny.edu or bbstudent@bcc.cuny.edu, and we'll do a personal check on your account to make sure everything is okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. We're getting a lot of great questions in here. Some of them are repeats, so I kind of want to hit the ones that we have not hit as of this time. So this question is about the reoccupancy plan. Has BCC submitted their plans to the government for the reopening phase for spring 2021? And the follow-up question is, if we go back to campus, how can we practice social distancing if classes are filled with a lot of students?
Thank you for that question. At Bronx Community College, our reoccupancy plan has been approved by all the oversight bodies for all 4 phases. Our 4 phases include 25%, 50%, and 100% reoccupancy in a very controlled phased-in approach. Right now, we're just in phase 1, which is essential employees, essential business continuity, and then those courses that must be taught on campus in order for the student to have a tactile experience, whether it's a lab or nursing. So there's a very few, I believe, and the provost will jump in, but I think it's 26 courses that are currently on campus. For any course that is on campus, whether it's in phase 1, 2, 3, or 4, what the college is doing is observing social distancing, and we have reduced the number of students that will be in any particular class to what can only to that number that can be socially distanced. So it's about 8 to 10 students that would be in a class at any given time. so that they can be at least 6 feet apart. In addition to social distancing, the college is requiring that all persons on the campus wear a mask at all times when they're in the presence of anyone else or in a shared space. So that also protects people. In any space like a classroom or eventually in customer service spaces, there are also protective devices that are installed, like plastic, they're called sneeze guards, but they're plastic sheeting that help to prevent air circulation. In addition, there is additional engineering controls that are being put into place, including increasing the air in the buildings, utilizing more exterior air and filters that are, they're called MERV 13 filters that also regulate the space. So we're basically taking a multi-tiered approach to your safety, ensuring that people who are not feeling well don't come on the campus. Anyone who's on campus wears a mask. Any engineering controls that can be put in place are put in place. And then we do everything in a very slow, controlled manner to help ensure that at any day, any phase, that we keep safety at our top priority. So I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, Vice President Ellis. The next question is for Dr. Nelson. What is a USS emergency grant?
A USS emergency grant. I think that's a grant that is offered by CUNY Central. So what I would advise the student is to go to cuny.edu and look at that award, because it's not administered through the financial aid office.
That is accurate, Dr. Nelson. USS is the University Student Senate, and through the student fees that they collect, they make in part grants available to students throughout the university. So typing in University Student Senate at CUNY can help lead you to that page.
Thank you, Dean Lopez and Dr. Nelson. Our next question is for ASAP, and this Gabriel is the legal legislator for SGA and is asking on behalf of a friend. Could he be a part of ASAP if he's enrolled in 2 classes as he is now? And if not, how can he join ASAP for next semester? What changes were made to ASAP for this semester?
I am going to ask Melanie, are you prepared to do a review? Just give me a nod. Okay, Tiffany, can you brief the student and Melanie Robles? She will take a look at his records to identify eligibility and to provide him with any type of exceptions that were made for fall 2020. And just to kind of answer that question more broadly, while you work on that, Tiffany.
The name of the student, I'm sorry.
The student that wrote the question is Gabriel.
Oh, thank you.
Just to kind of answer that question more broadly is that we have considered the current circumstances of remote and distant learning. So ASAP internally has been considering cases case by case as it relates to students who are unable to go full-time to be approved for 1 semester only part-time status. But that's done on a case by case. And we always encourage you to speak with your advisor to make that case, who would then present that case to ASAP leadership.
Thank you, Director Brown. Tiffany, if you can just refresh my memory, do we have anyone from IT that's available to go into a breakout room?
We should. Let me go over through the list.
The student Angela is having trouble with logging in with her login for Starfish and is trying to access that. So she needs to speak with an IT representative if they are available. Angela, if they are not available, it's best to email T as in Thomas, S as in star, C as in cat at bcc.cuny.edu with your contact information and your EMPL so that someone can help you. Thank you for putting that in the chat, Miss Dr. Arazo. I'm sorry, Dr. Arazo. Dean Lopez, it looks like I've caught up on all the questions for now. I do want to mention something that Ms. Brown has relayed to me is to remind all the students here that all of the staff information is on the directory on the website. So if you have a particular office that you would like to speak with or anything, you can look up that office on the BCC website, and there's a directory there that can help you find who you're looking to speak with.
Well, wonderful. It looks like we have about 5 to 6 minutes left anyway. And so in winding
And
down,
I'm sorry,
yeah.
can I ask if Lucci would be able to assist that student? I think she's still in the
I
room.
can probably answer some questions, but if it's access to the system and troubleshooting, it's best for her to reach out to an agent. After we'll be
Got it.
very
Okay.
prepared to do so.
All right, thank you.
So with the few minutes we have left, I wanted to ask Alon if you're available, starting with the end at the beginning, for those students who are freshmen or continuing students, thinking about what your professional aspirations are can be very helpful in motivating you to get through your academic endeavors, especially when it's such a challenging time. And sometimes knowing what that target is can be motivating. So Alon, are you able to maybe take a few seconds to share a little bit about what your shop does for students?
Sure. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Well, first and foremost, I want to welcome all of our new students and new transfer students coming in to VCC to the fall semester for their first semester. And I also want to welcome all of our continuing students into the fall semester. We currently offer an online program called Focus 2, which provides students with self-assessments to assist them in determining a major. And there will be a welcome letter that they'll be receiving through email, perhaps at the latest tomorrow morning. And that letter will instruct them on every step that they need to take to consider the self-assessments and also to consider the majors that they have either been contemplating or have had to select during registration or admission. But I also have 3 career specialists who will be working with all of our students on a one-on-one basis and also through groups to improve resumes or to work on building resumes, also looking at internship opportunities related to their major. We want to welcome all of our students to the Office of Career Development to consider building their career strategies, their career goals by first making sure that they're in the right major, looking at potential internship opportunities that can help them build more experience and awareness of the majors that they're choosing to study. And equally important is just building those job readiness skills to be ready for a part-time or full-time job in your field of study. Again, we will be sending out a welcome letter tomorrow by the latest. And I welcome any emails. So if anyone has any specific questions that they might want to ask us, you can reach us at careerdevelopment@bcc.cuny.edu. That's careerdevelopment@bcc.cuny.edu. Thank you, and we welcome you to BCC.
Thank you so much, Alon. Solomon, please unmute yourself. I will take the next couple of minutes to express how sometimes our day-to-day can be challenging. And we notice that oftentimes for students around midterms and finals, it can be even more challenging. So I'm asking one of our clinicians to tell you a little bit about what the Office of Personal Counseling does and how to contact them in just about a minute or so, please. Solomon.
Okay. So hello, everybody. My name is Solomon Piku. I'm one of the mental health counselors in the Office of Personal Counseling. We're staffed with other professionals such as licensed clinical social workers. And our purpose is to help take care of the mental health concerns of the college population, the student population. The way I like to look at it is we all have, our particular challenges mentally, and I would encourage students to look at mental health as just as important as physical health. For example, we would all go to the doctor every 6 months or so for a checkup. And that's what I would like to encourage students to do with the Office of Personal Counseling, to come in for a checkup. Yes, we do handle crises as well when situations get so intense that where situations become so intense that it overloads our ability, our resources to handle them. But for example, if you come by for just a check-in, we might be able to catch a crisis situation before it becomes a full-blown crisis situation. Our sessions typically are an hour. They are no charge to the student, so there's no worry about, for example, needing insurance or anything like that. It's provided free to students. And they're typically about once a week, but of course, if something is more intense, then we will see students as needed.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Solomon. Did you say the email address, please, or the contact?
Just a moment. Oh, sorry. I went through my spiel and I completely forgot to tell you guys how to contact us. Okay, so you can actually call or email us. If you call, you'll be directed to a voicemail, and that voicemail is typically addressed within 24 to 48 hours. The number is 718-289-5223. And when you do leave your message, please leave your first name and your last name and a callback number. I understand that some things are kind of sensitive, so you don't have to detail your entire issue, and someone will get back to you as soon as possible. The email address is simple. It's personal.counseling@bcc.cuny.edu.
Okay, thank you so much. And to wrap up, as a reminder to all the students here, we will continue to outreach to students. We'll continue to be available for students. We will hold another venue like this, town hall, in November. So you'll be hearing about that soon. We covered a lot of territory. Thank you all for your wonderful questions. We spoke about financial aid, reoccupancy plan, graduation, commencement, advisement, credit, no credit, technical issues, Blackboard. So we covered a lot of area here. Thank you so much again for joining us. To the faculty and staff who are in this space, thank you for partnering with us to answer our students' questions. Look forward to chatting with you again soon, and good luck with the remainder of your semester. All be well.
All right.
And we're out.